So my mum asked me the other day if I'd watched the Murdoch series and on Netflix, and I hadn't gotten around to that yet. We'd watched a lot of Netflix shows together, but that one we didn't watch. And when I first heard about this case, my interest was piqued. And then when I heard about the roadside stop and that Murdoch had set the whole thing up, I knew, I had no doubt in my mind that he did that he did it. No doubt. And I was planning to do a series on the Murdoch case. There were some fantastic channels out there that did some, fantastic podcasts on this case. And I did one episode, and I kind of lost interest because, as far as I'm concerned, I had no doubt in my mind, and he was just walking around free for quite a while. So I kind of lost interest. And then I heard that they'd let a juror go, and I got a little bit nervous. But I have to be honest with you, there was no doubt in my mind that the verdict was going to be what the verdict essentially was. There's no doubt in my mind whatsoever that he did this. And, it was interesting because I observe people, I watch body language. And just before the verdicts were read, you could see kind of him. He was like swaying back and forth. He was moving around a little bit. He was kind of, his face didn't change that much. He tried to keep a stoic face, but you could see the anticipation of what was to come, was affecting him. And then when the verdicts were read, he kind of nodded. He was digesting the information. And after a while, as he realized what his fate was, he actually looked more relaxed after the verdict was told than before. I think the anticipation of a verdict is often more nerve-wracking than actually getting the verdict. The anticipation of something can be more nerve-wracking, I think, at times. And I don't think anybody is really surprised at the verdict. But, this man had everything handed to him on a silver platter. So many people would love to have, he was literally born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He had everything to give him a good life, to give him a great head start in life, to ensure that he had a good life. And what did he do? He wasted it. He wasted his opportunity. He wasted his luck. And now he's down on his luck and out on his luck. So, it's a terrible shame. Now, I was in bed when the verdict was coming in. And so I got the verdict late. I woke up in the middle of the night and I went to my computer and saw that the verdict had come in. And I was very, very pleased. You have Judge Newman, a judge, an African-American judge from the South who went to segregated schools, who didn't have everything handed to him on a silver platter. And this man has conducted, I first found out about Judge Newman when he did the Samantha Josephson case, Nathaniel Rowland trial. And I remember hearing his speech to Nathaniel. And I just thought, this guy is a class act. This is how a civil human being should conduct themselves. Now, I don't know what Judge Newman is like in his personal life. I don't know if he's a good person or a bad person in his personal life. People's personal life and their work life is different. But as a judge, I think he's an exceptional judge and an exceptional example of, the gap in, the way Murdoch conducted himself in life and the way Judge Newman has conducted himself in life. They were both judges. They were both in, the field of law. They were both attorneys because Judge Newman was an attorney before he became a judge. Murdoch was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, given everything on a silver platter, had the advantage. Judge Newman had to work his way through the ranks as an African-American man from the South. And look at how Judge Newman's life has turned out, and look at how Murdoch's life has turned out. One was born with every opportunity. One was born with very little opportunity, but made the most of those opportunities. And I want to applaud and commend Judge Newman for his conduct as a judge and doing the right thing, and also commending the jury for seeing Murdaugh for what he really is. I've driven from Pennsylvania all the way down to Florida. And between those states, you have to pass the Carolinas. I've been to North Carolina and South Carolina. And once you get to at least North Carolina, the landscape begins to change and it turns into this beautiful, you see the palm trees, you see salt marshes, you see coastal waterways, you see creeks, a lot of grassland. And it's a beautiful part of the world, the Low Country. And if you have a lot of money and wealth and you're established in that part of the world, you can have a great life because you have great access to the outdoors. There's fishing, golfing, swimming, kayaking. There's so many different variety of water sports that you can do. They have some of the best. It has some of the best real estate property in all of America. It has some of the best cuisine: shrimp and grits, fried chicken, catfish, Hoppin' Johns. So the Low Country is a great part of the world. And if you have a lot of money, you can have a great life there. Maggie liked the good life. I see pictures of her all dressed up in her fur mink coat. That's a life she should have been living. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be, because the man that she was married to always wanted more and was never satisfied with what he had. And that's it. That's it. He was never satisfied. Now, the other thing I just want to talk about briefly, I used to do the Lori Vallow Daybell case on my channel. And I've mentioned it a couple of times since I stopped covering it because I just got kind of sick and tired of waiting. As you know, if anyone who's interested will know that case has been severed now, that Lori and Chad are going to be tried separately. I don't like that idea, but I guess we have no choice. So I'm hoping that case will get started, get a reboot, because it's been a long time waiting now, long time.